Hello and welcome to the podcast. We are so excited today. We are interviewing Ann Davey, who is the CEO of Massage Myotherapy Australia.
Oh, I'm really excited for this interview, Alicia. With such a large membership, MMA has been functioning for 21 years, and I cannot wait to hear about Ann's journey from working in the organization to being the CEO. What are you looking forward to learning?
I love, we spoke with Anne a little bit at the Massage Myotherapy conference a month or so back now. And what I love listening to not only her speak, but also watching the strategic connections that she has intentionally gone after. She's using her strengths, and one of her strengths is her ability to connect. It's not necessarily, she says herself, she's not an authoritative leader. What she is a really great collaborative leader. And I think in leadership, seeing a woman lead so well and so elegantly and doing a bloody good job, if I can just say, just to be able to see that rock out, what I'm really excited about is to just hear what it is she's doing and the passion that she has behind that to do that.
So cool.
Anne has had over 20 years of leadership experience in the not-for-profit sector across commercial organisations. She holds a Bachelor of Commerce, Human Resources and Administration Management. She has worked for Massage Myotherapy Australia for over 15 years, and she took over the role from CEO in April 2020. What a fun time. So she's going to share a little bit about her experience and her journey in that, but that's a little bit of an overview of who she is, and we can't wait to share this interview with you. Hello, Anne, and welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And we are so excited to be able to chat with you today and just connect about all the incredible things that you're doing. This came out of the massage conference that we've just had on the Gold Coast in May this year, and just watching and observing the incredible things that the association is doing right now. And so Christine and I were like, can we please have you on the podcast? Because we want to chat about some of these amazing things that have been happening. So do you maybe want to share a bit about your journey into the association? How long have you been with the association, first of all, and how did you get here? Let's hear a little bit about who is Anne.
Oh, look, where do I start? I suppose I originally started my working career working at Melbourne University in different departments of the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and Health Sciences, and then jumped 20 years, and then I had a family. We've got 4 children, and then jump over to, children going to school and, maybe I do need to go back to work. I was very fortunate to have a few years at home. And then I started working at the association part-time for my predecessor, Tricia, who I'm sure a lot of people know, and just writing policies and procedures, which then morphed into a part-time role, which morphed into being association manager for just over 11 years, I think it was. And then, a long time, I'm aging myself, aren't I? And then Tricia decided to retire from the role, and I threw my hat in the ring and applied for the role, and I'm proudly say there were over 80 other applicants. And I got the role. So I was very excited, and I feel very privileged to be here. And association world is a very different world, and it's a great place to work. And I had to learn a lot about the industry because I knew nothing about it. But I think I studied late in life as well. I went to university at 26 and did a Bachelor of Commerce. So so I've said before, I think I'm a bit of a late bloomer with my career, but I think I've got to where I want to be. So, yeah.
That's fantastic. And you took over the reins, was it April 2020? Is that right?
Yes, the start of COVID. Yes, it was.
Do you think that I guess that would have been a challenging time for anyone in this industry. But in a way, do you feel like it might have been actually easier because it was like a factory reset for the industry in a way? I guess, what was it like, taking over the reins in such a chaotic time?
Well, for me, even though I had worked here for so long, there was a lot that I didn't know at a governance level that went on. I wasn't I'd never been to a board meet, like I'd presented at a board meeting, but I'd never run a board meeting. So I think it gave me the opportunity to really learn the operational part of this role, because I couldn't travel, I couldn't meet with people. We were keeping up with directions from every state, and I mean, from the outset, I want to say I don't do this job alone. I have a team of people, I have committees, I have the board. It looks like I do everything, I do not. So, and I am very grateful for the team of people that I have. But also getting back to taking over the role, it was also, you're right, it was a reset, because what COVID did was cause all the associations to work together, and we continue to work together. So I think I learned a lot from the other association leaders as well about the industry. So it's easy to say it was such a tough time to be taking over a role. And my first job, I think, was telling 3,000 people in Victoria that they weren't allowed to work. But the flip side to that was post-COVID, I think we've become a stronger industry and a stronger association. Yeah.
Because of that collaborative approach.
Yeah. And we continue to do that. There's a couple of associations that are kind of in and out, but the majority of the other natural medicine associations, we meet very regularly, which is great. Yeah.
I know as a member, I felt how wonderful that the associations are coming together for our industry's benefit. So I actually thought that's a fantastic thing to have had.
Oh, look, I totally agree. And to continue to work together, because we all have the same mission, really. We all have the same industry. And if you're there alone and you achieve something, their members get the benefit of it anyway. So why not do it together? Yeah. And during COVID, it was just such a difficult time. You would have press conferences from your premiers, and our phone would start ringing even before the press conference was over. And we still didn't know what the directions were. So to be able to pool resources and share the load with the other associations, I think was very beneficial to the industry.
We have a saying sometimes when someone has a new idea or something crazy happens, it's like, and when one of us will start firing questions at the other, it's like, this idea is 30 seconds old. I'm not entirely certain what's happening. And I guess it's the same when someone's had a press conference. It's like, this idea we're not even finished the press conference yet. How am I meant to? I can't give you directives yet because we don't even know what they are. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I think the support that it showed our respective membership as well. It had a profound effect. Once we started releasing EDMs unitedly, I think that gave comfort to the members, all of our members. Yeah.
I have a bit of an out-of-pocket question. What was it like going from working in the association for 11 years and stepping into that CEO role? How did that go in terms of culture and, being one of the team to then leading the team quite strategically? What was that process like for you?
Oh, look, it was one of the hardest parts, I think. It was, when I said I studied later in life, my major was human resource management. One of my majors, I did a couple of majors. And so, as you've alluded to, I'm very much a people person. So the team, I spent 11 years building the team, building a great culture with them, coming along the journey as well. And then to step back and not be a part of that operational team, it really was very, very difficult for me. I freely admit it, because I love people. I love my team here. But I've had to consciously go to Kevin, who replaced me as association manager. I don't want to step into your territory. I don't want to. And I think, you've really got to think about your change management strategy. And I think I had to do it slowly as well, because the team were used to me being in that role. And some it just happened. Look, I was very humbled as well as soon as it was announced. And I was actually out at a meeting and I walked into the office and the whole team just stood up and clapped. And I thought, oh my gosh, yeah. So they were all very happy for me to get the job as well. Yeah. But I think you're right. My mindset really had to change from that operational level to that strategic level. And I don't think I consciously had a process, but organically it happened because, like you said, I was thrown into that world of COVID of having to think about things at that level. And then that kind of, after a couple of years, and then you're thinking, well, what is it that we want for this industry? What is the strategic plan? What is that the members want? So, yeah, it's very much a mind shift, and it's an emotional shift as well. Yeah, so...
And I think therapists can experience this when they go from being employed to then being a business leader and a business owner, where you're stepping out of, I'm doing this, with a group of people, we're all on a similar mission, but we're one of the team, to then going, this is me. And you're right, there's a mindset shift that has to happen. There's an emotional component, there's a strategic component. And I think it's similar when we have big changes in our lives. And I love that you are aware of what has the process that happened in that. So thank you for sharing.
It is incredible seeing all of these. I've been looking at the benefits in the journal, your 24 benefits in 24. And I learned so much about what it is the association does for me as a member that I was completely unaware of. And one of those things is the strategic connections that you're setting up. And would you like to talk a little bit more?
Yeah. I think when I first took over the role, my mindset was we are in the health sector. That's where we want to be, right? But then I sort of sat back and thought, most of our members are small businesses or sole traders. So there's that component as well. So then I went to the board and said, I think we should join the Council of Small Business Organisations Australia, because they go in there and they fight for small business as a whole, not for the health sector. So we joined COSBOA, and that just opened so many doors to like the Department of Home Affairs, with the immigration strategy, to us being invited. We had a seat at the table at the Modern Slavery Act review. Which is all very sort of negative, but it's positive for the industry and for us. But now then I got a tap on the shoulder, so I've ended up on their board, which is even better for us and the industry. So, but I think, the other ones are, massage is massage, but I think that our members can have so much more in their toolkit that can enhance their practice, but also enhance their professional relationship with their client. So we're talking to Diabetes Education Australia about developing a module so that our members can then recognise or educate their clients about diabetes. Pain Australia, we know that 1 in 4 people live with chronic pain, and we have research about the benefits of massage for chronic pain, for mental health that is related to chronic pain. Arthritis Australia, we've had fact sheets on their website for the past few years. They've just reached out for us to update them, for the benefits of massage with arthritis. But then we go internationally, and Healwell in the US, Think Tree Hub in the UK, Massage New Zealand, the Canadian associations. So I think that it's knowledge sharing and it's development of the industry. And I think the more that we get known in other areas and other expertise, from sport to pregnancy to pain, the more that, I want to, probably not the right word, but the mainstream medical fraternity will start listening to us. And I think it benefits us. It's education for the members. It increases our profile. There's all these benefits to me just going out and talking to people.
Amazing. And there's just so much in that. So obviously, Alicia and I have a strong interest in business.
Yes.
So hearing that you're involved in the small business organizations of Australia, the council of that, and a director of that. That's
I
absolutely
know.
phenomenal. Absolutely.
Oh, look, it's great for the association, it's great for our industry, but it's great for me personally.
Yeah.
You know, to be on that other side as well, because, you know, like here I'm an employee and I have to, you know, work with directors. There I'm a director, and, you know, the two, you've really got to, I have a very much a respect for the defining roles, you know, the line between those two, because governance is a big part of running an association. So, and, you know, I'm really excited about our international relationships. I think that, you know, the fact that we've got people from all over the world asking to submit articles to our journal. You know, they're coming to us and I don't know if any of you have seen Robert Libby is quite, he's had submitted quite a few articles for our journal, and every time he's in it, he sits on his Facebook page and goes through it page by page. So it's fantastic profile for all of us, you know, which is fantastic. Yeah. And for the industry, it cements that it is the healthcare sector.
Oh, sorry. I love all the diabetes and the arthritis. So many therapists just have people coming through their treatment spaces daily with these sorts of conditions. So that's so relevant.
Well, the other one that I did forget to mention, sorry to cut you off, was the Allied Health Professions Association, which is fantastic. And they were really helpful with us with the home care package program, because there was a few issues with the way the government said that massage could be included. And the Allied Health Professions Association, their CEO, Bronwyn, supported us in our submission to the Department of Health and Ageing to ensure that those that were eligible were not only qualified, but were a member of an accredited association. So that keeps it at that professional level. And we're also involved with ARPA. They're working on the digitisation of health records with the Department of Health and Ageing. So two of our directors and one of our Education Committee members and I went to a workshop to discuss what that would look like for the massage industry. So fingers crossed that we can have access to my health records. And, you know, and so, and the government, they're focused on getting all health records digitised so that they can all be cross-referenced, and communication between modalities, so between a massage therapist and a GP, and that communication goes via their system. How awesome would that be? So you're right, Christine, we don't blow our own trumpet, for want of a better term, telling our members absolutely everything that we're working on, because it is so difficult to be able to do that. The other, you know, and to discuss it like this is fantastic to get it out there. But also the board have said to me, you really need to tell the members more about what you're doing in the office, you know, which is true. So that's where the 24 benefits for 2024 came from.
It's a great article, honestly.
Yeah.
So useful, so beneficial. And it's more than just getting your provider numbers.
Correct. The association is so much more than administration to the private health funds. Absolutely it is. Yeah.
One of the things that we heard about at conference was from John Adams and the research that's going in. Do you want to talk a bit about those, what's been happening in that area, in that field?
Yeah, research it's quite a difficult one, and it is something that's close to my heart, I suppose, because I worked at Melbourne University for so long and in different departments of the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and Health Sciences. So it was a big part of my role there. Not doing research, I was never a researcher, but just understanding NH and MRC and ARC and all, you know, the government grants. And massage is, I suppose it's difficult in the research area because it's hard to give a placebo massage. So your normal RCT trials, all those sorts of things just don't work for massage. But we've had a relationship with ARCM, with distinguished Professor John Adams, as he's known. For several years, that began, Tricia started that many years ago now. And what it is we do contribute to ARCM, which is a collaboration or a consortium across the world. So I've actually met, they meet once a year, and it is coming to an end. And there's all sorts of areas in research, and they collaborate together in the complementary medicine area. And that's where Pracky came from, the online register. And we're actually doing a workshop with the Bowen Therapy Federation of Australia and Amy Steele, and I can't remember if she's doctor or professor, and she's from ARCM, and she's facilitating it. And what we're going to work on, and it's a 10-year plan, is building research capacity in the massage industry. So how do we get our members excited about massage? How do we get researchers excited about massage? Because it is happening, and we need it. We use massage in all of our government submissions. To get the home care package, we had to submit research articles and arguments. And that's the basis of your argument for your advocacy work. Mm. And John's a very excitable person, and he's across everything. So I think it's a fantastic relationship to have. But there are other universities that are doing research in the massage realm, which we're talking to as well, which is great. So I think that the more research we can have, the better it'll be for the industry.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's a great person to listen to. We really enjoyed listening to him at conference. And hopefully we're trying to get him on the podcast. So fingers crossed people listen up to that, because he would be amazing to have.
Because he does break down research into simplified terms is the wrong word, but it's not. I think he said in his presentation, I don't wear a white coat and goggles and wander around a laboratory as a researcher. And I think that's what comes to people's minds, science. There's more to research than just, tubes and test tubes and things. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So with all this amazing collaboration process that you have been working on, how many conferences have you attended in the last sort of 12 months or so? Because it seems like every few weeks there's something going on the Facebook page of where Ann is at. So
Oh, look, I couldn't give a number, but I think I do pick and choose what I go to. It's got to be a benefit to the association, and there's a lot of things that I think in it was the end of April, I was at the Associations Forum conference, which is an association that associations join. And there's an association for everything, but every association has the same issues, regardless of what the industry is. But last week I was at the Disability Employment Australia conference, because I thought, well, that's health. And, and I learned a lot about the disability industry and the struggles they have with employment and, and disability, not necessarily physical. It could be PTSD, it could be any, there's 120 different definitions of disability. So, I'm also a member of ARI, which is the Australian Human Resources Institute, and occasionally I go to some of their town halls because, we employ staff, some members employ staff, so that's important. I really couldn't tell you the number, but I always walk away with something, and something that will benefit us, benefit our members, benefit the association, and benefit me personally, obviously. You can always grow. You can never stop learning, never stop challenging yourself. But I am excited that Gary, our president, and I have been invited to it's the inaugural Registered Massage Therapists of British Columbia and the Canadian Massage Therapy Association conference to be held in Vancouver in September. So we're invited guests, and Gary's an invited panelist. And so I'm going to get to meet all these people in person that I've been talking to for the last couple, like Robert Libby and the Hillwell, Katz Ryan and Carol Cates. And that will be really good because I'm sure there'll be other people that I'll see there that, we can get on our Connect show or for our journal or for a webinar or for a conference. And so I think the fact that you so politely call me a collaborator, I think I'm a talker, and talking to people, you just build up these networks, and then I often joke things fall in my lap. So yesterday I was on a webinar and it was the CEO's special interest group. And then we got put into a room with 2 other people. And now one of those people who happened to be from Arthritis Australia, but their new CEO, and he's already emailed me. So going to you just learn so much and make connections, and that boosts who the network is for the association.
And I think it does, like, every time I've ever been to any conference, you meet people strategically, and you wear your t-shirt and all of a sudden people are talking to you and making connections, and even just your intentionality about being there and being present is also championing the association to all these different sectors. So the fact that we're now, not only are we we're becoming more and more well known because of the collaboration approach, and you're using that natural strength of, clearly you can talk well with people. It's that's a great strength to have. Talking underwater with a mouthful of marbles, you've got to be able to love it. But also, I think being able to do that as a way of bringing the association forward is amazing and incredible.
Thank you. Yeah. And look, I am a good talker, and, getting back to our conference in May, I always go into our conference with the intent to say hello to every single delegate. So, and I hope I achieve. Well, you help with that because everyone gets a selfie with me. But aside from that, I definitely and thank everybody as they leave for supporting the association, because without our members, I wouldn't have a job. And we wouldn't be the strong association that we are. And I think that's very important, that the members know who we are and that there's people behind the telephone or behind the emails, and that we're there working, doing the best that we can with the resources that we have to move the industry forward, but also to support our members. It's fine to go, we've got all these relationships and our brand is out there. What does that mean for the members? And they're my hopes and dreams, that by the time I finish in this job, that I have built, that we have built this foundation in the health sector, which I think, it's baby steps, and I think we're getting there. The home care package was a big one, I think. Oncology, massage, there's massage therapists in all of the centres, like the Olivia Newton-John Centre. Sport, we've had members, the scholarships this year, and Paul Gilders last year went to China to the university games. We've got people with Football Australia. We've got the CPE scholarships. So I'm very fortunate that the board is very, very focused in giving back to the members and what are we doing for the members. It's not just about building a big association, but also we're very fortunate we have those resources. A lot of associations don't have those resources. And
I think the collaborative approach of our buddy system at the conference was great feedback. Everyone I spoke to. So, do you want to talk a bit about what was your intention behind that? What was the idea?
Well, I've watched year on how many of our members go to conference every year to see each other, for the learning as well, but that's the only time, they're from all over Australia and they see each other. And I thought, well, it can be very confronting if you've never been to a conference before. Conference is a big word, and I've been on the registration desk over the years and had delegates walk up and say, I've never been to a conference, I don't know what to do. And then I got this idea, let's have a buddy system and have all our long-term conference delegates support the newer delegates, and we need, it's our flagship event. We want to get more and more members at our flagship event. And then I was standing there and I heard, I introduced two people, the budder and the buddy, I don't even know how you say it, but the mentor and the mentee, I don't know. And then I heard one of them go, "Oh, you haven't got anything now, come for dinner with us." And that new delegate was so excited and so grateful because she didn't even know what she was going to do for dinner. So I think that having that comfort that somebody is going to either look after you or introduce you to someone, there's nothing worse than walking into a room and not knowing anyone and going, "Oh, everyone seems to know everyone. What am I supposed to do?" Yeah. But and I do believe that our members are very friendly and they do invite people into their conversation. But I think by formalising it a little bit, it may encourage more new people, more members and non-members even to come to the conference and experience that conference. Yeah. And I, like you, it was just so good to hear the good feedback.
I almost want to be a little bit more specific around in the last year or two, Anne, when you've been intentionally putting together these connections and doing advocacy, what are the things that you are most proud of achieving so far?
Probably for me personally, being elected to the board of COSBOA, because I thought, oh, me. I think most proud of it's a really hard thing to answer because you've got all these things going on and they're all part of it, but they're not completely connected. So, being a member of the Allied Health Professions Association, even though we're not allied health, it's connected to everything else. It supports everything else that we do, but it's not actually connected to it because we're on that periphery of allied health. But, there's so much has happened. I think I'm really proud of our virtual summit symposium that we've developed. And this year we're adding another country. So my vision for our virtual symposium is last year it was the UK and Australia. This year it's UK, Australia and the US. And then the following year I'll add another country until I get a few, and then we'll rotate because I think that there's so much worldwide that has to offer. And, maybe that's probably something to be proud of, to, have such strong international connections. And the other, I'm just going to start blurting things out that I'm proud of. At first I couldn't think of anything.
We call this a hashtag win.
The journal. I think we have put a lot of effort into our journal to lift, not that it was ever below standard, but just to improve the graphics, widen the net for contributors, the topics, get our members thinking about other things other than just massage. So adding to their toolkit, like I said, diabetes, melanoma, PTSD, all of those things that is out of scope of practice, but it's something that you may recognise and go, suggest to your client that, have you thought about talking to your GP about this? And that's the end of it. It's not referrals. It's just getting our members to think about that. And the other thing I think I'm really proud of is that the United Associations are continuing to work together, because 15 years ago when I first came to work here, it was, no, you don't talk to the other associations. They might steal our members. That was the mentality. And I think it did filter through to the membership as well. don't talk to the massage therapist down the street because they might steal my clients. But now we've got the ambassador program that's been running for many years, and members are coming together and sharing their stories and sharing their issues in their clinic and sharing the problem client, what's wrong with them, not the problem client. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the ambassador program? Like,
Sure.
how would a member become involved in that?
Yeah, look, we're always looking for more ambassadors, and the idea behind it was that we have somebody on the ground near our members, because we have one office, and whilst, you know, as a board and the president and I, we hold a member meeting in every state every year so that we're visible, and we're trying to go more remote this year, so, you know, keep an eye out. So the ambassadors are there as a representative of the association, and, you know, they support us and support their local area. So they'll hold a regional meeting, and it's where, you know, members in the area come together, and they might get somebody to come in, you know, like one group gets Neighbourhood Watch to come in and talk about, say, if you work from home and safety in the home, having strangers come into your house when you're there alone, those sorts of things. And we assist them so that whilst they're a volunteer ambassador, we don't want it to be onerous on them. So we just need their support to find the local hall that we can hold a meeting in, or to be there as the facilitator. We do the registrations, we pay for the hall, we do everything. So if anybody out there wants to be an ambassador, we are looking for more around the area, and you do as much as you like and as little as you like. And if, you know, the group, they can talk to their group, and the group, you know, I'd really like to have I'll just plug cupping course come to our area. And if they can manage to get, you know, the group together to agree on whatever they want there, we can then organise a CPE event to come to that area. And then they're the facilitator, so they get to do the workshop for free because they're the facilitator. So, and they can feed back information to us. You know, if the members are not happy with something that we're doing, or if they are happy with something that we're doing, you know. So it's a great mechanism, and it's really good to get members together. And I think a lot of our members work alone. And so to be amongst your peers and talking about your industry with peers, I think is so beneficial.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I love having my massage buddies. Love them.
And what do you see as the future challenges for our industry, maybe over the next 10 years?
I think we sort of touched on it. I think getting a really good body of research is one of them, you know, because research is expensive as well. I think that's the way forward. I think the other challenge is, you know, like I said before, my hopes and dreams are to be embedded in the health sector, not to be, and we are, I'm not saying we're not, but to be more recognised. So for every local GP to recognise massage as a modality that they can refer their patients to, not nice to have, which, you know, is the feeling I get from the RC GPA, the GPs anyway. I think that I would also like to see, and this is sort of a negative, but we don't have an opinion about sex workers, but with the decriminalisation of sex work coming in state by state, and we've argued about this, they're allowed to say that they provide massage therapy. And what one minister wrote back to us was that, you know, a sex worker may be a legitimate massage therapist as well, but we want to have the delineation between quasi-massage shops and a massage clinic. I think that is so important, and educating the public is so important. So I ask every therapist out there, when you're talking to your clients and you're worried about the flashing light that's down the street, tell them that they're probably not qualified. Tell your clients that it may be a brothel. You can't know. You can't know that they're not qualified, but they will tell their family and friends. We need to educate the public about what a qualified remedial massage therapist, myotherapist, healthcare worker therapist is. I think that's our biggest challenge. That's our step forward.
Yeah.
And then we'll create the demand.
Yeah, I'm just going to agree that I also think that I've heard people in the past be like, oh, my association should solve that. However, I think we do also have a responsibility of educating our clients. And I know for us, where I practice from, there are a bunch of those flashing lights shops, and I can't tell you how many clients I've had come in because they were injured and hurt and things like that, because it's unqualified. And I'm like, did you know that they're actually, many of them are not qualified? And they're like shocked. And it's like, well, let's just be really honest about this and say, not that they aren't, like you said, we can't know that, but often that they're not. And come into look for a professional. If I'm not the right person for you, let's find you someone who's qualified and can help support you on your health journey.
Yeah, and we are about to embark on a new ad campaign, social media campaign, about what is real massage. Basically, what is a qualified therapist? Only go to a qualified therapist. So, and I think you're right. I think if we can change that message one person at a time, and educate the public, and it will just benefit the industry.
Yeah. Empowering people to know how to recognize a qualified therapist. That's the key, isn't it? So
it is. And the problem is, I came through our media monitors yesterday. There was this fantastic article, an online article about the benefits of massage in rehab, sport, chronic pain, mental health. And then it talked about erotic massage and the benefits of erotic massage. We do not want those two things in the same article. There is a place for it. I have no opinion about it. There is a place for it. We just want the safety of our members and the safety of the public as well. Yes, is a consideration here, not just that it's not health sector. So
it's two different industries, really.
It is two different industries. Absolutely, it is. Yeah.
So for our new grads, what advice would you give to someone who is looking at entering the field of massage and myotherapy today?
New graduates. I think that for new graduates, it's a hard road if you immediately just start working alone. I would suggest that you find a clinic, whether it's a multimodality clinic would probably be the better way to go, because then they've generally got a reception and osteo, physio, and other therapists that you can shadow, even get a mentor. Join our association and come to a regional group, run by an ambassador. I think, a brand new graduate, unless you've run a business before, running a massage business, your focus is on massaging. It's not on your insurance, your bookwork, your clinic notes is part of massaging. I think that it's an industry where it is hard on your body, so you've got to look after yourself, your own mental health, your own physical health. Because massage, for want of a better term, after our last conversation, is very intimate. And I know I do not stop talking throughout my massage. So if my therapist is listening, you can attest to this. And I probably cross all those lines of telling her all about my children, my husband, and all those sorts of things. But that's the nature of it. You're two people in a room. I know there's many clients out there that just don't want to speak. I totally understand that. But also don't take on everybody's issues either. But I think, it it's a hard work, and I watch our members and, some of our long-term members who are, even older than me, and I just say to them, you've been in this industry for 30, 40 years. How have you looked after yourself? And they have their own routines. You've really got to look after yourself and, get advice from people. I mean, it's easy for me to say I'm CEO of this association and I'm a leader, but I have mentors. I have people I go and ask questions of. Like I said before, I was in a special interest group. I got advice from that special interest group. I think you need to have your village with you. Yeah.
And if you were queen of the universe and you could have everything your way, what would you like the massage and myotherapy industry in Australia to look like?
I would like us to not be APRA registered, because I don't think that would be any benefit, but I would like us to be part of that allied health general medical industry and be recognised for that, and the separation from the sex work industry, and have every single person in Australia have a massage at least once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. We're good for that.
Yeah, I can help with that.
I'm going to do the maths on how many people we have in Australia and how many members we have. I think that's a lot of work for everyone.
It's not going to work. Yeah. I think that, massage has its place, and it is in that place. We just need to expand that recognition. And, I mean, it didn't help during COVID that the Prime Minister said, you can go to your massage parlour and have your massage. Well, parlour, seriously. And that's where it happens. It happens from the top down. It's educating massage therapist, massage clinic. It's health sector, the benefits, pregnancy, oncology, pain. I can't stop saying it enough. And I think we're on the pathway. It's baby steps, and I do believe it will get there. The qualification, it just gets better and better each time it's rewritten. And, we've got the pain neuroscience units of competency. Well, that probably should have been in there 5 years ago, because we've known for years that 1 in 4 people live with chronic pain, but things move slowly. Yeah. And I think that this industry is growing and growing and just getting better and better.
And thank you so much for your time. I know you're a very busy woman, and we are really grateful and honoured that you would take this time to speak with us, to be able to get this out, and for those listening as well. So thank you so much for your time, effort, energy, and all the incredible work that you and the association are doing together. It's a really exciting part of this journey, I think, and we're in a really exciting time specifically for our industry. So thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
That's absolutely ditto from me as well.
Oh, thank you. It's been a real pleasure chatting with you both.